Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for stopping by for another video today. This is going to be going through a random stack here, and if you're like me, you have a card room or hobby space somewhere at home, and it may be overflowing with stacks of cards that you've maybe pulled out to make YouTube content, or got in the mail and haven't put away yet, or picked up on ComC and haven't been processed. And so I've got stacks all over the place here. I'm trying to clean up the office slash hobby room here at home. And so I thought I would just grab this random stack today, and we're just gonna go through. I think these are all cards, for the most part, that I've never shown on the channel, but they need to be put away and filed away in the collection proper. And I thought I would make a video as an excuse to finally get through them. So let's just go through the stack in no particular order, just the way they're stacked up here. And we start with a great card from the 1970s, just like the one we have up in the background there, the infamous 1970 Topps Lowell Palmer. I talked about this one recently because I picked up a Heritage buyback version of this card, but this is epic. And if you think it's all about the shades, that's, part of the story, but it's certainly not the whole story, because as I talked about at the time, when we flipped this over, we also learned that Lowell's hobby is raising pigeons. So, I mean, tell me this isn't one of the greatest baseball cards of the 1970s, and I will tell you that you're just simply wrong. I love that card. Can probably pick one of those up for, 50 cents or $1, but it's just endless fun to have a copy of that in the PC. Next up, I have a section here of hockey cards, and I'm going to break this into two different little stacks, and we'll go through these kind of quickly. I know hockey isn't for everybody. But I did an episode recently on 3 Pittsburgh Penguins greats, the first of which was Mario Lemieux. And I have another stack here that starts with and ends with Lemieux as well. This is a 10-card insert set from Leaf called Hat Trick Artists. And I really love this concept. Of course, in hockey, infamously, if you get a hat trick, 3 goals in the same game, everybody throws their caps out onto the ice. It's one of the great traditions in hockey. And Mario Lemieux is a fantastic title card from Leaf for this set, which paid tribute to players who got hat tricks in the season prior, which I think would have been 92, 93. Take a look at the back of this one. A little bit on the history of the hat trick. Let me move my hand out of the way there. And so after the header card, we have the following subjects: Alexander McGillney, Mario Lemieux himself, which is awesome. I think most of the subjects in this set are in the Hall of Fame, but there are 1 or 2 exceptions. Pierre Turgeon here with the Islanders. Of course, came up with the Sabres initially. Kevin Dineen, he is not a Hall of Famer, but he is a fan favorite here in New England because he was a longtime captain of the Hartford Whalers, and I think actually scored the final goal in the history of that franchise, fittingly. Eric Lindros, another Hall of Famer there, who I've talked about many times. Adam Oates, enshrined as well. Kevin Stevens is not a Hall of Famer, but was a very talented player on those back-to-back Stanley Cup winning Penguins teams that I referenced in my video the other day. And then the great Steve Yzerman, Stevie Y. Love that one. Really nice photograph. So cool insert set there from Leaf. That's the complete set. Not valuable. You can get that dirt cheap, but I really like the concept. And before we move on, if we look at the back of one of these, it actually lists out the hat tricks during the 92-93 season that each of these guys got, with the date, the opponent, and of course the number of goals in the event that they scored, more than 3. Let's look at Mario Lemieux's. I would think he would have a higher total. Yeah, check that out. 4 hat tricks, and 2 of those games he scored 4 goals, and then he even had 5 goals against the poor Rangers on April 9th, 93. So cool set there if you're into the hat trick or just hockey card collecting in general. And then I have, as promised, a couple of other Mario Lemieux's. These are members-only Stadium Club cards from back in the early days where Stadium Club was an actual club that you would join. So pretty cool. I love the Conn Smythe trophy there for playoff MVP. And you have a third one of those as well. And then this one is a box bottom, or box, box bottom, cut out from a box of O-Pee-Chee hockey back in 1990. And they even did backs for these. And then lastly, on the Lemieux front, check out this hologram. I love these 91, 92 Upper Deck holograms. And this one is the Conn Smythe trophy winner for playoff MVP. Same trophy that we saw a moment ago, but just a killer card. I don't know if this is going to look right in the background here. Yeah, not half bad. We'll leave that one up. Huge fan of the hologram, and I wish Upper Deck would bring that back in the hockey world today, or even Topps in baseball. A few more hockey cards to get here, and then believe it or not, we're going to have like some more baseball, but also football, and I think even soccer. There's a lot of stuff in this stack. This one's really cool. This is a 1954 Parkhurst hockey card, and it features an action shot here between the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. Card number 94 in the set, which is right on the front. When we take a look at the back, we have a little summary there about the action that's going on. This was like a $5 card. These are not expensive, but just think it's really, really cool to have some hockey representation from all the way back in the 1950s. And then the rest of the hockey here, these are going to be 9 Upper Deck exclusives parallels. I talk about these all the time. They go back quite a ways now. I mean, 25 years or more in the hobby, and they're always serial numbered to 100. We got Vincent Lecavalier for the Bolts, one of the best players ever to play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Dion Phaneuf, pretty hard-nosed defender who's been on a bunch of different teams and can deliver punishing checks. Then we got Shea Weber, potential future Hall of Famer there. I'm not sure. I'd have to look up his stats. It's been a while, but great defenseman here for the Nashville Predators. These are from various years, and I had all 9 of these in a Z folio, actually my Ovechkin Z folio, but I've gotten to the point now where I have so many OV cards that it's starting to, I had to kick these out, essentially, to make room so that can truly become a fully Alex Ovechkin Z folio. So these exclusives got the boot from the Z for now, and they're just going to be in penny sleeves with a couple of exceptions for Hall of Famers that we'll get to in a second here. Sasha Barkov, really talented young player. I think he could be a Hall of Famer in the future. Just he's quietly, consistently among the league leaders in points year in and year out. That's a cool one there. And then the 3 that I top loaded, we have from the, I think, 2008 release, Chris Pronger, who was a first-round draft pick of the Hartford Whalers. Second time I've been able to reference them in this video, and went on to have a Hall of Fame career and won a Stanley Cup with the Ducks, who he's pictured with here. So that one got the top loader treatment. And then we've got half of the Sedin twins, Daniel here, also getting the top loader treatment. They, of course, went into the Hall of Fame together and played their entire careers together with the Vancouver Canucks, which is really, really cool. And then lastly, Jumbo Joe Thornton, who has also called it a career now, and will absolutely be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And what's cool about this one, this is the Connor McDavid rookie year, 2015 Upper Deck. So nice exclusives, Jumbo Joe there. So I think that's all the hockey for today's video. Thanks for sticking it out for that portion of it, those that are not hockey fans. Here is an awesome baseball card to make up for it, and then we're going to get into some other sports. This was a pickup over this past winter. This surfaced as a buy it now for under $50, and I could not let it go at that price. I'm going to spare you the long discussion about Topps Gilded that I always seem to give every time I show one of these off. But this is the first year that they made the set. Extremely limited. This is the mini diamond numbered to 50, which is my favorite parallel. But again, across all parallels and base versions of this card, there are just 185 copies out there. So to get this in a PSA 10, which is rare for me, I do not typically pay up to get PSA 10s. I'd rather buy 9s or 8s and spread my money. But this, again, was just so cheap. Given what it costs to submit a card to PSA, these days, and then to wait many months to get it back, getting this one already in a perfect grade for that price point for a Ted Williams number to 50 from a set that I absolutely love. It was just a no-brainer, instant buy it now. I got 3 quick soccer cards here. I'll go through these really quick, but these were occupying one-touch magnetics, and I've decided to move them into my Soccer Z folio instead and to reuse those magnetics. So we got from the 2018 Prism World Cup set, this is the black and gold Neymar for Brazil, kind of a nice color match there. And then, of course, the 2 players who were the biggest in the game for the first decade or 2 of the 21st century, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7 here for Portugal, and that's kind of a nice match. This is the green and orange Prism, which kind of matches some of that green in that particular Portugal kit. And then we finish off with the guy who I prefer in the Ronaldo versus Messi debate, Leo Messi for Argentina. also in the green and orange to match the Ronaldo. These became pretty big cards during the soccer card explosion a couple of years back, so they were in some one-touch magnetics, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have them in my soccer Z Folio alongside my other Messi and Ronaldo cards, so that's where they are headed. I got one football card here. Check this one out. This is a pretty cool one that was also in a one-touch magnetic, but decided to move it into just a top loader. And I don't know, the lighting here is not great today, but this is a Gallery of Heroes stained glass acetate card. And I showed a Willie Mays version of this insert from 2013 Topps Archives Baseball. This one is an original 1990s Gallery of Heroes of Peyton Manning on the football front. Love Peyton Manning, and I was very fortunate to be a football fan in New England during the Manning and Brady rivalry throughout the 21st century. And I saw a lot of Manning, both in person and on TV. And he and Brady, and for me anyway, are the best two quarterbacks that I ever saw, with my own two eyes to date. And really loved everything about that rivalry. Love acetate and stained glass cards. And this was a cheap pickup a year or two ago. So just happy to have that one in the collection. I'll put that one up here in the background. And we're going to move into just a couple of basketball cards. And you're probably going to be sorely disappointed because I really don't know anything about the subjects on these. These were picked up on ComC a couple of years back, and I just need to file them away. Just, for the simple fact that I love tall boy basketball cards. I just think it's very obvious why that is. It's a sport played by incredibly tall men and women for the most part, or they seem to be the most successful at it. And so I think the tall boy format just really works for basketball. So we have this Matt Guokas, or Guokas. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I love the kind of preppy sweater and collar here as he's shooting his jump shot. These are from 1970 Topps Basketball, I think, these first two with these solid backgrounds and the basketball with the player and team name and position over it. Joining him, we have this hilarious Gary Gregor, who looks somewhat terrified. He has his jersey on backwards, which was customary on a lot of these basketball cards at the time due to ability to show logos and things like that. But that is not a very aesthetically flattering basketball card, to say the least. These were like $1 pickups. And then from the year prior, the 1969 Topps Basketball release, and I love these even more. Just a really cool design. I love the cartoons and the layout. We have Bailey Howell and Larry Siegfried, both of my local team, the Boston Celtics, which is why I picked these up. Would love to maybe complete a Celtics team set. I don't think there are really any huge names from the Celtics in this set. Somebody who's more knowledgeable about basketball can certainly correct me on that in the comments. But again, snag these two for like $1 a piece back in the day because they are relatively well-centered and they present nicely. And I just dig this design. Take a look at the back of a couple of these tall boys. Get cartoons in both instances of the design, 1969 and 1970. And then let's close it out with just one more fun baseball card. Coming full circle, we started with the Lowell Palmer 1970, and I have here another 70s baseball card that everybody should own. There's no excuse not to. It is not an expensive card, but man, it is just hobby gold. The 1976 Topps Traded Oscar Gamble. Some of the most famous hair ever captured on a sports card. Any sport, vintage, modern, you name it. This one has got to be up there. You can probably get this card for under $1 very easily, and it's just an all-time winner. So just a cheap 1970s card to end it there, the same way we started it. This was really random, so if you stuck it out throughout this whole video, I truly appreciate it. And hopefully I'll be back soon with something a little more structured. But in the meantime, I hope you're enjoying the hobby. Take care.